Okay. So I'm going to post the link now. Hey, so how is the audio here? I know I've got a fan going in the background because it's kind of hot, so I'm hoping it's not drowning out the talking. I'll start up the application in a few. I'm just kind of making sure everything is okay, and somebody bugging me for basic advice on some other Fire Pro related stuff, and I don't really have anything to give them, so I'm kind of back and forth at the moment. But yeah, I should start that up in a second. Really, I just want to go over and like show a couple of matches, sort of show off a couple of features, and get some suggestions or maybe answer some questions if y'all have them, that sort of thing. So I could probably boot this up now. That way it won't have to do it in the future. Okay, so I'm going to avoid showing any card backs for any extended period of time, but I think I have 47 according to this countdown here. Cards loaded. You can switch between them pretty easily. You could filter by the set, which is pretty nice, so if I only wanted to see the the Cauliflower Alley Club Reunion 2016 cards that I have loaded, you can actually just set that filter and go through there. I only have the Destroyer and Pampiro Furpo created right now, and then you can always set it to no filter, which will allow you to see all the cards. The cards get a little rating down here. It's based on the raw ratings, but because I run a sort of a house rule with the choice chart where you can also select the original move, because I feel like, especially since my focus is on the really older guys, like guys from the 50s, 60s, and a little bit into the 70s. Some of the choice charts are really meant for sort of 80s and 90s and whatever guys, and so they don't really work. So I like to be able to choose off of their original charts. So I left that as an option in the choices, so I don't disregard those like the level 3 moves that have a choice after them. They're basically raw ratings, but they're a little they're slightly different. So and yeah, we've got manager cards here, and the only two managers I have in my collection right now are Cornette and Bobby Heenan, so that's all I've got. But you can see you can flip the cards pretty easily. You just click on them, they flip over. It's pretty nice. You've got a nice little search thing here. So say I wanted to bring up the Destroyer. You can hit Find Card, and it will find the first one, and you hit it again, and there you go. You know, you got your Destroyer stuff. It's pretty nice that way. You can sort them through multiple different ways. It's got A to Z, rating ascending, rating descending, and then you can sort them by set and then by name. So that's pretty nice. I usually like to sort it by rating descending so that I can kind of have all of my main eventers at the top of the deck and all of the lower card guys at the bottom of the deck. The managers don't get a rating, so they're always at the bottom. They basically have a rating of 0. Before we get into matches, I'll go over a couple of things. We've got files up here. Some of these, if I ever was to make this a thing that people could get, you wouldn't have this last one here, this create expansion. This is a developer option. It allows you to basically take cards. I'll show you off here. And you can export them into a file that can then be imported on players' computers, but they will need, I'll show you here in a second. Let's pick the Destroyer, and Pampiro Furpo is the 2 cauliflower allies that I have. I think Furpo's further back, actually. Yeah, here he is. Okay, so we do this. It will save it. And then let's say we go to try to install this. It's gonna give you a key or a username, which is generated based on your computer. All of the hardware inside of it. It basically just generates a hash key based on the serial numbers and that kind of crap. And then you're going to need to enter a unique key that you would get from whoever would be selling the expansion. You know, if Filsinger Games ever allowed me to, you know, to sell the program, they could release their own packs of cards for it or whatever, and deal with distributing keys. Allowing people to install cards. The cards are linked to that same user ID. So every time a card is created in the program, the owner becomes that user ID. And so if you were to try to load up someone else's deck or something like that, or they were trying to share it with you, those cards just wouldn't load. So there is a little bit of copyright protection for Filsinger I built in, just because I felt like you know, I know that I'm sort of stepping on their toes or whatever. And so I wanted to do something that if they ever allowed me to send it out or to publicly release it, wouldn't allow for people to just kind of share cards willy-nilly. So there's that. Then we got options for things like the advanced pin rules. You can turn it on and off. We got sound. There's some basic sounds of dice rolling and like a bell and the card flip. Then you've got record keeping. You can set it for to save the match text, and your choices here are never save the match text, ask after every match, or always save the match text. And I just set it for always. And with notes, I have it set to ask, so that I can, if I want to enter notes about a match, I can. If not, then I can just say no, and it'll skip past it. We have championships over here. My world champion is Lou Thez. You can view the history here. You can see that Thez is my current champion. He won it at an unknown event, which is what happens when you have an unrecorded match up here in your records and data. I'll go into that in a second. And he's the current champion. He hasn't lost it yet, so it will give you the event that he won it at, the event that he lost it at, and how many times he's defended it. Yeah, I'll get into the card stuff in a sec. Hold on one second. I'm just kind of going through the... Did I close it? I did. I'm just kind of going through the basic features. I'll get into the card editing here in a sec. But yeah, you definitely can. You can schedule a match for the championship. You can create a new title, delete a title, and clear the contested title. Over here is the records and data. This is, if you have it set to unrecorded, it won't actually save the match for you. you could go here and set a new event and give it a name, and let's call this Twitch stream event, and hit OK. And then if you come up here and change it to the Twitch stream event, every match that you have will be saved under that event. And so when you go to view event records, it'll show a list of all the matches you've had. And then it's got some basic, you can view the charts and stuff, just in case you want to take a look at them. It's all handled by the simulation for the most part, but you can at least view the basic charts and as well the basic game rules that Filsinger has posted on their website. So, you can click here and it'll give you the blurb about agility and power ratings and all of that stuff. So basically how to play, that sort of thing. All right, so now we can get into the cards. So we hit add card down here, and it's going to ask us if we want to add a wrestler card or a manager card, which are the only two card types that I support right now. So we'll go with wrestler card and hit OK. And it'll bring up this nice little... I'm getting a text message. It'll bring up this nice little scene. The screen here, we hit select the front image. We're going to want to go into... I have all my images and card images. So we'll go ahead and, just for shits and giggles, we'll make the Crusher on stream. It'll automatically select the back of the card file if you select, if you have them named the same. So like if you have the Crusher front.png and the Crusher back.png, it'll automatically select the opposite side for you. Yeah. So that is, if you go up here to File, you will see that there is a load table. And so you can load it into the ropes and into the turnbuckle and out of the ring in a death jump table. Right now, if you click on them, it says coming in a future update, feature not currently available. However, all of the support for saving and loading the special charts are there. I just haven't created a UI to create any. So, because UI creation is really what I hate the most about designing applications. So I've been kind of putting it off, but the back end is actually already available. I need to create a UI so that people can create different charts. But yeah, they're there. Now let's go back here. So with this, you would want to flip it over. He's 5'11", so we'll go ahead and do that. And 265, blah, 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 and you'd enter all the stuff off of here. You do have to manually enter the stuff. It just, because you load the image, it won't automatically input the moves and the, his ratings and all that stuff. So, like I said, I'm going to avoid showing the back for too long. So we're not actually going to make the Destroyer, or the Crusher, excuse me. But I will show you some of the creation process just so that you guys have an idea of how it works. So let's say his first move is a punch to the head. So you'd select the punch to the head. You have all of these options for basically like the type of move it is or what rule it follows. So you've got your regular moves. You've got the switch moves, which are used for things like that only happen in tag teams, etc. You could do it based on, if we click on this, it'll actually bring up a thing and I can show you. So we have some conditions here that are opponent's weight greater than, opponent's weight less than. The match is a tag team match. The match is not a tag team match. Roll 2 dice, a result greater than or equal to. Roll 2 dice, result less than or equal to. Roll 2 dice, result equal to, and then the same for just roll 1 dice. And then you can set the value over here. So that's kind of what it is. It's pretty easy going. Let's get rid of that. We don't need it. And then you have your plus, your add one to pin, all of that kind of stuff. Your choices, your charts. Here's the out of the ring and out of the ring choice. Into the ropes, into the ropes choice. It could, yeah. Basically, you could set it up that way so that it will switch to a different move if they're facing a junior heavyweight. Some cards like Danny Hodge have that mechanic, so I added it. You've got your tag. So this does have a separate tag here. It actually doesn't do anything. I decided to basically make tags into the switch moves. So it basically this, even though it will say tag on the actual card, you wouldn't want to use that because it doesn't do anything currently, and probably never will. I will probably end up removing it. But your agility and your powers, and then you got your finishers and your chance to miss moves and your +1 disqualification moves and all that kind of stuff. So we'll just say that's a regular move. And then, of course, you can set the, what defensive table it goes to. And then something that I added because, when you're playing on the table, it doesn't really matter whether it's a submission or a pin. But when you're playing on the computer, it's going to give you different text. So if the move is a submission move and as you're going to roll on the, defense level 3 and it's a submission, you're going to want to check that because it will load different text for when they kick out or when they break the hold or when it's successful, that sort of thing. So, and then over here you've got your defensive stuff. It just defaults to dazed. If you raise them up, it'll automatically change them. If you select counter or reversal, it will automatically put their name in. Right now his name is empty, so it's just made an empty thing. But yeah, so that's a quick and easy way to do that. And then down here you've got all the ropes and everything. So it's pretty easy to use. You can add some pre-match stuff. So let's say on Danny Hodge's card, he has some different pin values and stuff if he's facing juniors. You could do that here in this pre-match ability form. And yeah, so it's pretty easy to make cards. You could do the same thing. We can add a manager card just so you can see that form. So I'm just going to select an image so there's something displaying over here. We're not really going to make a manager out of Dr. Death, but so you've got your action text up here, like what the simulator is going to display for what happens, and then down here you've got your codes. So if you have a 0, it'll put in the wrestler's name. If you put in a 1, it will put in the opponent's name, and 2, you can put in a random foreign object, because I found that some of the managers have a passing an object, but they don't define the object. So I just allow for it to choose from a random list of foreign objects that are common to wrestling. And then you've got your action type, a run-in, opponent is pinned, client roll offense, opponent roll DQ, client roll pin, etc., etc. They're kind of, I think they're pretty decently defined. And it covered both of the managers that I have. And that's the thing with programs like this, is since the mechanics are always growing, there's always different cards that I don't have access to. It may not do everything that, your physical cards could do. But, if somebody was to say, hey, this card needs this mechanic, I might be like, okay, well, I can add that, But yeah, it's one of those things that could be done, and but it just requires sort of a back and forth from the users and the developer, which is me. So, all right. So now I guess I will run a match or two. I'm going to do a title match here, and just for shits and giggles, I'm going to set up a title match for the world title, which is held by Luthez. But I'm not going to add Luthez to the match because I want you to see something. So we're going to have Ed Lewis versus Jack Briscoe for the title here. And I'm going to hit start match, and it's going to actually give me a warning saying hey, that title is not vacant and you don't have the title holder in the match. Are you sure you want to continue? And I'm going to say, oh, no, that's not what I intended to do. So then we're going to clear, let's say, the blue corner. We're going to go back to Luthez, and we're going to stick him in the blue corner. And then we're going to start the match. And we'll get a nice little bell. And the match will start. And then you just, it will automatically roll to determine who goes first, and you just roll the dice like you would basically anytime, you're playing on the table. And it will give you, and of course the match ends already. Luthez has beat Ed Lewis with the Thez Press. So that was a really short one. And we get the winner and all of that stuff. And then it will ask me if I want to enter notes, and I'll say yes, just to show you all of this stuff. And it'll bring up a little text editing form, and you go, Fez was on a tear from the bell. Lewis offered no challenge. Then you hit OK, and all of that is saved. So if we were to go up here, since we set it to the Twitch stream event, if you go here, you could view the records for this event, and it'll have matches over here. And you've got Luthez and Ed Lewis, and it will note that it was a world title match, and that it was Luthez versus Ed Lewis, and it will say Luthez beat Ed Lewis in 2 minutes and 11 seconds. And then you've got the match text, which we've set to always save. So you have a full transcript of what happened in the match. And then down here you have the match notes, which say Fez was on a tear from the bell, Lewis offered no challenge, which is exactly what I entered. And then here down here, if you set this to BBC code, and you can change, my options are that I want the event header to be red, the title header to be yellow, the match header to be dark blue, match result to be black, match text to be gray and italic, and match notes to be kind of green. And you set this to BBC and hit export, and it will actually write all of this up into every match on that card up into BBC code, which can then be posted on the Filsinger boards under the LOW feds or whatever. And it will format the text to be that color, that size, bold, underlined, whatever, and so you barely have to do anything to post your results, essentially. And so yeah, that's basically how it works. You can see here, let's do a tag team match just cause. So I am going to grab me some Nick Bockwinkel, and we're going to partner him with Ray Stevens. Let's find me some Ray Stevens. There he is. Good corner. And we're going to get Bobby Heenan all up in here as a manager, just cause. And so when you add a manager to... Oh, man, what is it telling me now? It's freaking me out about a null reference. I'll fix that. It's not a big deal. Apparently, we're not doing managers, though. I changed the way the cards work. So, yeah, we're going to get a null reference anytime I try to add a manager. I'll have to fix that. It's not a big deal. So, yeah, let's do this one more time We'll just do a tag team match just to show you guys how this works. I was hoping to show off managers, but I didn't realize that I had that no reference in there. So, and we'll put them against the Vashons here. So you got the tag team match going on here, and let's make this for the tag team titles since currently it's vacant. So we're going to schedule this for the tag team titles, and you'll be able to tell that, the titles are over here. It'll say above the text for the world tag team titles. Well, let's say you decide, you know what, maybe not. You just hit clear contested titles up here in the menu, and it will remove it being for the titles. So that's how that works. But we'll go ahead and make it for the titles. And it looks like the Vashons won the initiative roll, so they're going to be going first. And you just kind of do your thing, making rolls. And let's say it looks like Bockwinkel reversed the move. Let's make him tag out to Ray Stevens. So now Stevens is in the ring. And we'll go here. And Ray Stevens is pinning Butcher Vachon, and Butcher Vachon is able to kick out. So there we go. And you see here he gets a fatigue counter. It's these little yellow counters up here. They will accumulate up to 6. I figured after 6, there's almost no way that somebody is kicking out. I guess it could happen, but it's probably pretty rare. So they'll accumulate up to 6. Stevens is pinning again, There we go. We got 2 counters on the Butcher. Oh, he tries again. Then we got 3 counters on the Butcher. The Butcher makes a tag, or it makes a counter, so he's going to tag out. And we'll keep on rolling. Stevens reverses it. I'm going to tag in Bockwinkel again. So here's a choice situation. You can see that down here I have the original move, which is a drop kick. Obviously, he's not going to attempt a moonsault, so we'll go for the kick to the knee. And Mad Dog Vachon counters Nick Bockwinkel's attempt to a kick to the knee, and you'll see that now he is on offense. So you just keep rolling, and now the Butcher is rolling on his choice situation. I'm going to say that he's going to go for just the straight jumping knee drop. And he attempts a jumping knee drop on Bockwinkel and makes a pin. But Bockwinkel is able to kick out, so. And now we'll have him try the death jump off the death jump charts. It says Mad Dog Vachon climbs to the top, but Nick Bockwinkel recovers and climbs up as well. They're both jockeying for advantage. Nick Bockwinkel takes control and executes a devastating superplex on Mad Dog Vachon. So you can see, if you're familiar with the chart, you know that that's sort of one of the chart options. And it did all the rolling behind the scenes to figure out what happened. Some of the the rolling, it doesn't make sense to show it because it just, I don't know, it would kind of convolute things or make things take longer. And I mean, part of the reason you're playing it on the computer is for convenience, I guess. Here's a submission. You can see that the text is different. Mad Dog Vachon is trying to fight the pain. Nick Bockwinkel tightens the hold. Mad Dog Vachon manages to escape the hold, which was the Bockwinkel sleeper, as you can see down there in the match text. So you've got different text for submissions than you do for pins, as long as you set your cards up correctly. And I'm just happy that this match is going on a little longer than the Luthez match, which took forever. We'll go for the belly-to-belly, and Bockwinkel counters the belly-to-belly. We're going to make a tag to Ray Stevens. And if you're ever wondering who's on offense because you're clicking really fast, there's this little, red is defense and green is offense down here. So yeah, you can quickly see who is on the offensive and who is on the defensive. So when you roll a defensive tag, this is what comes up. Would you like to tag your partner? Right now, I know that technically the rule is that they have to be in a recognized team, but since the application has no way of telling what is a recognized team, that will come at some point, but right now it doesn't. So right now, it just asks every time you roll a defensive tag. So we'll say yes. And wow, Steven was able to make the tag. That's pretty impressive. So now Butcher Vachon is trying to make the tag. We'll say yes. And he made the tag. In all of my testing, I think I have been able to make that tag like one time. And now I've gotten it twice in a row. And here's another roll where I can attempt to tag my partner. But Mad Dog Vachon stops him before he gets to the corner, and Nick Bockwinkel is dazed. So, yeah. So it does happen that you fail on that too. So here we go. Mad Dog Vachon hit a running knee lift and attempted a pin, and he was successful on that pin. And so here we go. We've got the match time. The winner of the match is Mad Dog and Butcher Vachon. Time of the match is 23:34. So, it's random. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a dice roll, so it's about as random as you could get. And then we had it set to unrecorded match up here because we didn't save. So it didn't actually record this, and as you can see, you can't view the records for unrecorded matches. That's basically just what you set it to. No, there are no pin saves yet. It's something that I need to add. It just my basic thing was getting down essentially like the really basic game well enough that it didn't have any real errors or super jarring breaks in flow or anything like that. And then I could add in sort of the more advanced stuff like pin saves or the different charts, that sort of thing. But it is coming. It will be a thing. So yeah, that's basically it. I think that's what I wanted to show off mostly. It didn't, since we didn't reset it for the title title is still vacant. Yeah, I kind of wanted to show people that it is a real thing. It wasn't just me being, I don't know, cheeky and posting weird stuff on the forums. I don't need attention that much. I don't know if any of you guys play Fire Pro, but I get all the attention I need over there with the mod pack stuff for Fire Pro, which is just a ridiculously consuming project. So yeah, this is just something I was doing for fun, sort of off and on, because I've been working on game design as a job for the last little while as well, and so I guess I just was one day I was like, I want to do something for myself, and that's basically what I did. Yeah, I did do Superstar Pro on tabletop. I actually did Legends of Wrestling for tabletop too, but I didn't upload it because, Filsinger. Honestly, I just don't. My goal isn't to step on anyone's toes. I don't even know if anyone knows who owns the rights to Superstar Pro Wrestling at this point. There's the guy who created the tabletop or the Virtua app for Superstar Pro, who sells it, and I mean, I don't think he created the tabletop game. I just think that no one knows, so he's not really in any worry of getting sued by anyone. So, but yeah, I mean, I really do want to release this to the public at some point. It's a passion project as well as a learning project, as well as just kind of a de-stressing project for me. But at the same time, I recognize that it has value to other people, and I really would like to be able to release it. I don't want to end up stepping on Filsinger's toes or anything. And I know they have I hate their online thing. I'm pretty new to the community over there. I've been playing for, I don't know, I want to say about 7 or 8 years now. I've known about Champions of the Galaxy for a long, long time, but I just don't get into the fantasy stuff. So when they did Legends of Wrestling, I got really into it because I really like historical wrestling and wrestling history. So I started playing when they did the Legends of Wrestling stuff, and yeah, I wanted to do something with it because I enjoy playing it, but I don't always, when you have kids and a wife, and you don't always have time to bust out cards, and your kids are playing their PlayStation in front of the table that you want to play your card game on, and it's a mess. So I just thought that this would be nice and easy for people, and I guess the online thing that they're doing is supposed to have the same effect, but I really don't like it. The layout, and I know that I know for a fact that my UI is not mind-blowing. It's not, you're not going to look at this and be like, holy crap, that's the greatest looking application I have ever seen. I understand that. It's simple, and like I said earlier, I hate UI design. It is not my forte. It's not something I care about so much. If it's functional and it's not confusing, I'm good with it. And so yeah, it's not like mine is amazing, but holy crap, the one on their online thing is, um, it it's pretty bad. And I just, for me, this is better. And I also I like the fact that I'm not online, that I'm not reliant on being online. I have a Windows tablet. I can put this on my Windows tablet. It's just a tablet. It's not a phone and I don't have to worry about whether I have Wi-Fi or whether I have that sort of thing. I can play it on the plane, without having to pay for their Wi-Fi, something like that. I like not being restricted to being online to play it. So that's kind of why I created it. I was like, I just don't like those sort of online. I don't like browser games. So, I was like, yeah, I'll just make an application. And, and that's what I ended up doing. And I think it worked out pretty well. And, you know, yeah. So that's pretty much what I wanted to show off. If anybody has any questions or suggestions, I'm open to them. I think there's only 2 of you here, but, if either of you have any questions or suggestions, I'm all ears. Yeah, like I said, so my wife loves to fish. I'm not a fisher. She loves to fish. I know that's, ass backwards, but I can put it on that tablet and bring it out to the lake, and she can fish, and I can play my game. So it works out, and I'm glad that y'all enjoyed it. And again, I'm sorry that I can't give it out. Someday maybe, hopefully. But for now, it's just more of a tease, unfortunately, than anything else. So, all right. Well, with that, I'm gonna sign off. I'll put this on YouTube for anybody who might want to check it out later. And y'all have a good one. No, I mean, more charts would be fine. And like I said, I have the ability to, where users can create charts and save and load them. I just need to create a UI for it. So that's something that's in the works. It's something I want to do, along with something to basically, what's the word? Like track tag teams and all of that stuff, so that the rule can be a little bit more accurate. All right, well then I am gonna stop streaming. Y'all have a good one and enjoy the rest of your night.